The African insurance industry remains one of the least penetrated in the world, with an average of around 2%, which is low compared to the global average of around 7%. I think this should be a concern to all of us as practitioners. Two, our industry's growth keeps getting slowed down by inability to build substantial capacity reserves due to poor saving culture and premium flight. That's another issue for concern for every one of us. Three, there is still heavy reliance on foreign expertise. And the last one I want to talk about is our industry is still plagued by poor public image and, of course, lack of trust.
Well, let's now discuss this and, of course, more about the discussions at the event. We're joined by Anthony Mwangi. He's the chairman of the Association of Insurance Brokers of Kenya. Great to have you with us on the show today, Mr. Mwangi. Now, of course, as we mentioned, this year the focus was climate change, and it is quite an important topic, given that Africa has been hit particularly hard by climate change. So give us a sense of the discussion taking place in terms of the role the insurance sector will play, not just in managing the threat of climate change, but also helping to mitigate and reduce its impact on African nations.
Thank you very much. That is a very important question, and I think it has been the theme the whole week that we have been discussing this matter in Nairobi. We must appreciate that Africa has very, very serious issues of climatic change, and we have seen what disasters have done in other countries. One of the things that we must be able to know is that we are the ones who are grossly affected by issues of drought. We as a continent, and that obviously has major implications on what the populace is able to achieve. Because with people stricken by drought, it means that you have more deaths, more life covers to be lost, and these are the energetic people that should be able to be serving the continent. And therefore, the whole issue of climatic change in our continent is a very critical and therefore this theme could not have come at a better time as during this 48th edition of AAO meeting in Nairobi.
Well, how exactly is the insurance sector preparing itself to take this on? Because we have just emerged from 2 years of what has been the most severe risk event in Africa in years, which of course is the COVID-19 pandemic. How did that impact the way the sector operated? How did it impact the sector in terms of strategy, operations, products offered, and so forth?
Yeah. First of all, I would say that the issue of climatic change is the way insurance companies are going to handle this. First of all, they have to be more innovative. They have to be to go out there and start encouraging more use of green energy, for instance. We want to see insurance companies coming in and perhaps giving better rates to those people who are using green energy in terms of their homes. Those people who are using solar panels, electric cars. We want to see more encouragement in that area, and of course, even investing in some of these areas as a people. We also want perhaps to the insurance company to participate in the real issues of forestation of African forests, because this is where we end up losing our forests, and as a result of that, we start having climatic changes in terms of heats that eventually become cyclonic, and therefore we end up having no rains, which also affect even the food production. Remember, Africa is rain-fed. For most of the countries in Africa is rain-fed. And therefore, any issue that affects, for instance, any climatic issues like forestation, that is something that we as insurance companies are going to put in a lot of effort in going forward. When you mention about the issues of COVID, obviously this has been an impact and has impacted everybody, not only in Africa, but across the world. But perhaps Africa is much more impacted negatively because of the state we are in our development. But insurance companies have rebounded back, and now we see a lot of efforts to try and come up with the products that are able to cater for that category of people that have been affected. For instance, we now have products that are geared towards covering COVID-related issues. We also have seen a very now well-informed populace. Because of this impact of COVID, people now are more aware of insurance, and now they will be reading their policies more carefully to know what they are covered for. So we also want to take the advantage of what the pandemic brought to us in terms of strategy and going forward, and the opportunities that protect for the industry. We are now seeing more enlightened populace. They are now more keen. Some policies like medical covers that had a little bit of under development, now they're one of the largest and quick and fast selling products in our markets. So I think that is a positive thing that we are seeing in going forward, and we want to take full advantage of that awareness. And of course, we're also going to put some mechanisms, even from the very early stages of education. I think we want now to start training young people at an early age the need for insurances. Because remember, some of those things, just like climatic issues, numbers are critical. One of the reasons why we have not been able to do very well in climatic issues regarding insurance like livestock insurance is because of the low penetration and low numbers that are coming forward to insure, because rule of large numbers will apply. So when we have more people, right now, the way they are informed, taking medical covers, taking livestock insurance and other agri-based insurances, then our insurances can only grow strong. And that is something that we want to take as an industry and take a full advantage of this era. And of course, even the issue of technology, that is also very helpful. We are able now to reach out to more people
Right.
than before.